And welcome again to the GDFL Footy Show, coming to you live from Geelong on a beautiful Saturday morning again. And yes, we had a great round of footy last weekend with the season really hotting up as we get closer to the finals. And hopefully very shortly we'll be able to make a very big announcement about a fantastic coverage of the final series coming up here on Channel 31. And some of the big games last weekend, East Geelong were too good for Anarchy. Ryan Closter, 8 goals. Ricky O'Toole, best on the ground. And I might say it was a huge weekend for full forwards because Inverleigh, Mini-Me, Owen Lewis, booted 8 goals. No, he didn't. He got 5 goals. I gave him 2 minutes. I was heading on GST. And they knocked off Geelong West. The Tommy Tigers, Julian Carr, 9 goals, too good for Cry out there at the Thompson Thunderdome. Bell Post Hill, absolutely too good from Winchelsea, with Matt Jovanovic kicking 5 goals. And for the losing side, Jed Hogarth kicking 6 goals. Great effort, Jed, for Winchelsea. And Bannockburn, well, too good for the Belmont Lions. Aaron Eddy kicking 7 goals. Byward is in great form this year. And the 94.7 match of the day, the Werribee Central's Footy Club came storming home in the last quarter and knocked off North Geelong with Anthony Kitchen kicking 7 goals, maybe 8 according to Dale Smyth. There's a bit of controversy about that. And of course, Paul Brigette kicking 7 goals again for the North Geelong Magpies. Good morning, yes, hello. I am Dick Philpott, and once again I've assembled some of the biggest names and brains in local football to procrastinate, eradicate and adjudicate. And firstly, good morning to the legend of the Bannockburn Tigers, Dale Smyth. Good morning.
Yeah, nice to be back again this morning, Dick, and let's hope in the weather just holds out until our under 18 game finishes and we can get on with the rest of the day then.
And of course, school holidays are still on, so therefore he's got leave of absence from school to come to our show for Saturday morning. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning. Great to be on the original and the best show.
And the original set.
And the original set. Fantastic. Look at that. Beautiful. We change every week.
I know. Next week we'll be doing it at Fano's Garage like we did many, many years ago. Well, I probably won't be able to fit in Fano's Garage anymore, but that's another story again. Before we talk about some of the action on Saturday's big game, we've got a couple of big interviews coming up now. Cal Lowther's got the coach of the Werribee Central's Footy Club, David Leatch, and the assistant coach of the North Geelong Magpies, Jason Habib. Here's Cal.
Dave, great win, especially after such a slow start in the first quarter. You must be really proud of your players to work their way back into the game.
Yeah, mate, it was great to have a few blokes come back today, but there's no doubt they were pretty underdone. Like, some blokes hadn't played for up to 6 or 7 weeks, and I always thought we might have been slow start, but I didn't think we were going to be, we couldn't even really get into the play in the second quarter either, so we're still 16 points down at half-time. So the boys showed a lot of character to come back from that, mate. So especially, they're a good side, mate. They're one of the best we've played all year.
And obviously the mental toughness sort of aspect, this is a very important win, particularly because of finals coming up, and it sort of gives your players the confidence that even if they're a bit underdone, even if they're not playing that well in the first half, they can just come back and get a victory out of it.
Yeah, no, good point, mate. Like, it's the belief, and we need to have a belief that we can come from behind. Like, in our first 10 games, we're mostly in front most of the time, so it was good to have one where we actually we were challenged and they were on top of us and all that sort of stuff, and we needed to come from behind. And credit to the boys, they done an awesome job.
And also, just to touch on some of the individual efforts, particularly of Kitchen and particularly of DeLuca in that last quarter, they really, it was a team effort, but they really kept you in the game.
Oh, there's no doubt, and Kitch's performance all day, mate. Like, we've got a couple of key forwards out at the moment, and Kitch has been really pulling the load, and he kept us in the game in the first half, mate. And if it wasn't for him up forward, we would have been in more strife. And I thought in the last quarter, a few of the young boys really come into it, and I thought even Toby Bray, Ryan Cornish, those blokes in the last quarter to get the ball out of the middle and get it inside our forward line to give us the chances, because that really didn't happen in the first half.
All right, thanks very much, Dave.
No worries, mate. Cheers. Thanks a lot.
And here comes another interview now with the great man from North Geelong, the assistant coach, Jason Habib.
Jace, obviously in the game all day, you had them on the ropes, but you just couldn't shake them, and they ended up just running over you in the last quarter.
Yeah, I mean, we were at three-quarter time. We were pretty confident going in, leading all day. But they're a quality side. I mean, as Frank said at three-quarter time, top sides never give up, and that's what they've done in the end. They just kept going and going and going.
Yeah, looking at the last quarter, where do you think your team broke down? Were they just not big enough in the clinches, or is it something else that sort of made you break down?
I mean, look, at the first 5 minutes, we had maybe 3 to 4 shots on goal. Like Jaron Bryant missed 2 easy shots, and I think if we got them, I think we would have broke their back. But, I mean, missed opportunities, cost us a game, I think, in the end. The last 5 minutes really cost us where we should have kicked those balls.
Yeah, and it sort of leaves us a bit more of a sour taste in your mouth because, you're sort of at the bottom of the 5 now, and it makes it difficult to get into the top 3.
Yeah, it does. Look, it does. But as we said to the boys after the game, keep our heads up. We've got to learn from it. We're a young side. Look, and we know that we can beat them. There's no doubt. We're pretty confident of that. But it's pretty hard to get back in the top 3. If you lose a game now, this part of the time of the year, it's hard to get that top 3 spot. So.
Okay, thanks very much, Jay.
No worries. Appreciate your time. Thanks.
Great interview there by Hab. What a great television face he has as well. A bit like myself.
Better
isn't
looking
it?
than you.
What do you reckon, guys? Dale, North Geelong, a bit of a shock there to lose that in the last few minutes.
Yeah, I suppose, look, most of the day they went through the game and you always felt that they were in control. They got to, I think, out to about 20 points at one stage, and Werribee keep battling away. They got back to about 8 and North Geelong would kick another goal. It looked like that was going to be the flavour of the afternoon. As I said, they held their sway most of the day. We went out and actually listened to the boys at three-quarter time, and Frank basically said that he needed to continue with the way they were playing to win the game, and they shifted de Blasio back to Kitchen at full-back. Probably I don't think Kitchen maybe got a goal in the last quarter, which may have worked for them, but that left them maybe a little bit exposed up forward. And they just didn't have the players that would finish the game off. They had opportunities. Jared Bryant missed a couple of goals. Marley Swain missed a couple of goals. So, you know, as I said, those important little kicks and goals have now cost the North Geelong side that spot on the third position anyway. Now sitting at fifth. And I suppose with the game next week with Werribee and Thompson, a very much an important game. It's going to have to be played pretty well because I know that North Geelong got Belmont Lions, so it's going to be an easy win there. But they need to get back to that third position, I reckon, this year's finals.
Chase, I know you can only notice the free kicks that are paid at the end of the game or the highlights end of the game, but gee, Jared Bryant in that last dying minutes missing that goal, that's very unlike that man to miss the goals, isn't it? Like
He's
that.
usually pretty good in front of goal. I think the key thing that Frank said at three-quarter time when we did go and listen to them was that they were going to, that Werribee Central were going to come and that they were going to, you know, they're one of the best, obviously one of the best 3 or 4 teams in the competition, that North Geelong, the players have to be ready for that every week because it's going to happen, especially finals time. And I think after the game, he would have said that they weren't just quite there. They needed to, I think they stopped about halfway through the last quarter with their run game, which I'll try and do. They broke down at centre-half forward, as Dale said. So I think that's a key for them. They robbed Peter to pay Paul a bit with de Blasio going back onto Kitchen. So they're going to have to try and rectify that. But, I mean, they get to redeem. They've got a pretty easy run up until the finals. So, you know, that third spot's going to be crucial for them, I think.
The other thing too in this game, Dick, was that Bowyer did pull out before the game. And it just exposed, I suppose, went back to where they were, you know, at the start of the season when they didn't have that second ruckman. Meant that Swain and also Swinnerton had to do most of that work, and it just mucks up their structure a little bit, and that's why it's important that this bloke stays sound for you for the rest of the year. If he doesn't play finals football, I don't think they can go much further than where they finished. So it'll be very important for Bowyer to get up, and also Matheson back on the side will be good for him next week.
Be handy, that's right. Of course, Rosenweig was missing still from the Werribee Central side, and by all accounts, especially from the great man himself, Grubby Cason tells me that he is the gun man. So look out when he comes back. But yes, hopefully the Magpies can consolidate their position in the 5 next couple of weeks. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll do Dale's under 18 segment and talk about the big match of the day on the Saturday.